faculty, staff, parents, friends, and special guests, welcome to Georgia Southwestern State University and this 2014 Spring Commencement Ceremony. Graduation is a special time. Today, as you graduates receive your diplomas, you'll be walking through a portal that will take you into the next phase of your life. You have studied, you have learned, and most importantly, you have persisted, and now join the ranks of the college educated. We wish you well as you now put your education to work, whether you're going to graduate school, enrolling in professional school, or taking positions in the real world. Our faculty and staff have worked hard to teach, groom, and prepare you to succeed. Now it's up to you to demonstrate that they have done a good job, and I'm confident that you will. At this time, I would like to extend a special welcome to our guests who are seated off to my right this morning. First of all, Alumni Board member Mr. Gary Bashburn and his wife Michelle, who are visiting ladies from Atlanta. Also, member of the Executive Committee, former President of the Foundation, Mr. Jimmy Skipper. And seated next to him is the wife of our commencement speaker, Mrs. Sylvia Jones. And certainly, last but not least, next to her, my wife, Dr. Connie Blanchard. Again, welcome.
This is a new wrinkle. Greetings to all gathered here today to celebrate the graduation of these students, and even some not present today in absentia. It is my distinct honor and privilege to be the last faculty member to speak to this graduating class before Dr. Blanchard officially confers the degrees upon these deserving students. I know that I need to be quick so that we can move along to that crucial point. For many of you have traveled far. Indeed, many here graduating today have been deprived of sleep for the past week or so and are daydreaming about lunch with family and friends and maybe even a nap. So I'll be brief in these few points of reflection. Graduation in its ceremonial form is called commencement, and that word indicates that we are here to celebrate a beginning, even as we celebrate the end achievement of many years of study. In other words, you graduates will leave here today with a verification that you have attained a university degree, and by that degree, you have attained a measure of training in your capacities, not only in your specialized fields of study, but in your overall fitness to act as citizens in a republic, which asks you to participate, to inform, and further educate yourselves so that you can make decisions that will make and maintain our society as a better one than if we did not pursue these lofty goals of higher education with the majority of our electorate as we currently do. When you graduate today, you can officially refer to GSW as your alma mater, your nourishing, kind, or as you will sing later in the hymn today, your foster mother. I do hope that you can already begin to reflect upon all this experience as nourishing and kind, despite all the demands and rigors. And if you can't just yet, you will in time. But this whole experience has fostered in you a growth that wasn't purely technical. The various classes you've taken in the liberal arts and sciences, the different organizations and events that you've participated in, the various new people you've met, have fostered something ideal in you. That is, an appreciation for ideals which will take root and grow in the years ahead. Nevertheless, we find ourselves at a crossroads in higher education, a time when the cost of a university education seemed to some unsustainable. Into this fold of higher education has crept a solution of sorts that promises to make higher education more affordable, more accessible. We all know to what I refer, online education. Perhaps many of you have taken online classes and found them satisfactory, or at least convenient. There are a few areas of educational training where I might concede that it makes sense, but on the whole, the evidence against online education keeps coming back as questionable at best. Quality control is the so-called issue against, but I would also add the lack of true ideals available in higher education. So I ask you to consider, as you're ably qualified to do now, what your connection to GSW would be like if you had taken the majority of your classes online. Could alma mater still have the same resonance in your memories about GSW? What about all the people that you would not have known, or the instructors you wouldn't have interacted with in a human setting? Or the time shared in the union on campus at various events? And yet, legislators, governing boards of higher education, and yes, even some university administrators and faculty might be tempted to go whole hog into online learning. I worry that online learning will be so enticing to so many for all the wrong reasons that it will become, in the not too distant future, the only option available to most university students. That is, except the most affluent and privileged in our society. I don't mean to be a doomsayer on a joyous occasion like this, but as you are now equipped with a university education, you are and will be capable of shaping the future of higher education in our state and nation. So let us merely ponder this and resolve to address it forthrightly. Is Amazon.com the model that we want to pursue in every aspect of our lives, including higher education? For me, I question this model when applied to what you have just achieved by your university experience. Some 15 years ago, I saw a televised broadcast of the commencement of Agnes Scott College in Atlanta, and I was struck by the warning voice of the late Kurt Vonnegut, a celebrated writer who on that occasion questioned the ability of computers to teach human beings to be fully human. And Vonnegut was a man trained in the sciences. But yet he was committed to the development of human beings through education as a special enterprise, not to be conceded to the lowest common denominator or the cheapest alternative. I hope that each of you will, on this glorious day of celebration, pause and reflect on the special experience you have undergone and keep it alive for others to also experience. The world will soon be yours to shape and determine as the passing of a torch to a new generation. So guard and protect what is crucial, be willing to stand for principle, and always remember that your old and sometimes curmudgeonly professors will always be warmed in their hearts when they hear from you and your progress in life. You have the capacity to shape the world into something better than you found it, if you have the will. Nevertheless, these bigger and more complex issues will keep to another day, after more knowledge is gained and a better understanding of how best to act becomes apparent. And it is now my privilege to be the first to say, hail and farewell to the class of 2014 at Georgia Southwestern State University. Congratulations to you, your family, and friends on this graduation day.
They didn't think I could read and hold the mic at the same time. As president of the Georgia Southwestern Alumni Association, it is my pleasure to present the Professor of the Year Award for 2014. This award recognizes an outstanding faculty member nominated by the graduating seniors. It is awarded each year during spring commencement and provides a $1,000 stipend. This individual became affiliated with GSW in August of 1999 in the role as director of the Chattahoochee-Flint, Georgia Youth Science and Technology Center. While director of the center, began to teach our Science Methods course for early childhood and middle grade science program at GSW. In 2011, became a full-time faculty member in the School of Education, and as a part of her duties, assumed the role of liaison for early childhood program housed at ABAC campus. The recipient has a Master's of Middle Grades Education from Georgia Southwestern, as well as a bachelor's degree from the University of Georgia. I would like to share several comments submitted by fellow students. She taught me to grow as a person and as an educator. Best teacher ever. So dedicated to teaching students. Always helpful, always prepared, kind and caring. A role model. Dr. Howard, interim dean of student of the School of Education, stated that whether in the classroom of middle or elementary school students, a classroom of teaching candidates, or a training session with teachers, this person displays a passion for teaching, learning, and is a student advocate. The School of Education is proud this individual is our colleague as they represent our profession well. Indeed, it appears that this individual has an excellent rapport with students and is dedicated to seeing them succeed in their personal as well as their professional life. The GSW Alumni Association is proud to recognize the recipient of the 2014 Professor of the Year Award to Lynn Larson, Department of Education.
Congratulations, Professor Larson. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Dr. Paul Jones. Dr. Jones has been serving as the interim president of Darton State College since October of last year. One might say he is on leave from his post at Georgia College and State University, where he is senior vice president for finance and administration and also a professor of educational administration. Previously, he has served in several other capacities at GCSU as Vice President and Chief of Staff, Vice President for Institutional Research and Enrollment Management, and served for a while as interim President at GCSU. His has been a long and illustrious academic career, having held positions in Utah, Colorado, and Maryland, as well as in Georgia. Though we did not know each other at the time, our careers overlapped slightly when I was at Fort Lewis College in Durango, Colorado, and he was a senior administrator at Mesa State College in Grand Junction, Colorado. In addition to his professional commitments, Dr. Jones has remained an active participant in the communities where he has served, as indicated in the graduation program. Dr. Jones grew up in California and went to college at Utah State University, where he played football and ran track before earning his bachelor's and master's degrees. Later, he attended Colorado State University, where he earned a PhD in education and human resource studies. He also spent a year at the University of West Florida as an ACE Fellow, American Council of Education. I first met Paul Jones several years ago, but have only gotten to know him well since he assumed his position at Darton. I've been impressed by his grasp of the issues that are shaping today's higher education, his understanding of Georgia politics, and his energetic leadership style. More importantly, I have been pleased by his desire to strengthen the ties between GSW and Darton. I am sure as long as Dr. Jones is serving at Darton, the relationship between our two institutions will be a warm, productive, and mutually beneficial one. So it's both an honor and a privilege to introduce our Spring 2014 commencement speaker, my friend and fellow president, Dr. Paul Jones.
Thank you, President Blanchard, for that kind introduction and for the invitation to address the Georgia Southwestern State University class of 2014. Distinguished faculty, staff, proud parents, family members, and faithful friends, congratulations to all of you. But especially congratulations to the class of 2014. I'm honored and humbled to speak to you today on this extraordinary milestone that you've accomplished today. As I think about my own life's journey, I know that the cards we are sometimes dealt, or the path that we must take, seem unfair and maybe are not easy. But if there's one thing that I have learned by playing card games, is that you must play the hand that you have been dealt. And life, quite frankly, is no different. You just play the hand that you've been dealt. My own fortuitous journey may not seem or not be too dissimilar to some of you. Reflecting on my humbling journey, I know that this journey began with a dream, a prayer, and remarkable luck. You see, I was born and raised in South Central Los Angeles, California. Yes, the same city that you see on television. I was the youngest of 10 children and raised by a mother and father who were not afforded the same educational opportunities as you nor I. Neither had a high school education. And during my entire upbringing, we were economically disadvantaged and often needed public assistance to get by. Despite my parents having a limited formal education, they possessed enough knowledge and understanding to know that education is paramount to one's development and advancement. It is because of this knowledge and understanding my parents volunteered my twin sister and I to take part in integration of Los Angeles schools. So it was at the age of 11 that I took advantage of the hand that was dealt. We were bused approximately 40 miles outside of our community to attend school. This foreign community allowed me to meet new friends, learn a new culture, and begin to dream of someday escaping my environment, playing sports, and someday having a better life. As you can imagine, when you grow up in this difficult and stressed conditions, the odds are probably not in your favor that you will be able to break the cycle of poverty and all the dynamics associated with it. However, as I continue to reflect on this upbringing, I often ask myself, how is it that I escaped? How is it that I escaped this environment when so many before or even after me did not? I know that today's accomplishments are a partial result of a little luck and my commitment to not only dream, but to believe the dream would come true. I was also fortunate enough to have parents that not only recognized the importance of pursuing an education, but they instilled great values, a tremendous work ethic, and a passion for serving others in need. My parents' service to others took place even when we ourselves did not have much. I was also very fortunate to have people, a network of people, if you will, who cared about me and who believed in me even when I did not understand where I was going or how I would get there. This network, along with my parents, taught me early on that the sky was the limit. You just have to believe in yourself. Prepare yourself for the opportunities that will avail, but be willing to seize and take advantage of them. As I mentioned, dreaming is important. One that I often had that was very vivid and simple. I, Paul Jones, would earn a football scholarship so that I could have a better life. Again, very vivid and simple. While my frame was small for an athlete, it didn't hinder my ability to bring this dream to fruition. My dreaming, coupled with my parents' decision to expand my educational opportunities, led me to earning a football scholarship at Utah State University. Once again, I found myself traveling miles from my community to a place where, quite frankly, I did not know where it was on the map. I recognize the reality that the journey for some of you may have been unpleasant as well. Some of you have traveled great lengths, faced much adversity along the way, and endured many obstacles to simply achieve this moment in time. Whatever the circumstances, the battles, the challenging experience that you may have had, you are here now. Now, if you briefly indulge me as I share a little advice, one of the many lessons that I've learned throughout my journey is to enjoy my own blessings and gifts. We often like to compare ourselves to everyone else's life and often forget there's some people who have less than we have and who would love to live our lives. Today is a day of celebration, a day of triumph. I know many of you are just as prepared as I am to share your own stories of adversity and triumph. Your presence today demonstrates your ability to dream, a dream that is, as of today, is no longer deferred. It is a dream realized. As you think about your achievement today, you should know that you will leave Georgia Southwestern fortunate. When I look closely at some of the regional statistics, I am reminded of your individual roles as extraordinary achievers. Recently, I read that more than 50% of the Georgia Southwestern students are considered first-generation students. And over 45% may be classified as economically disadvantaged. And under 20% of the community has earned a bachelor's degree or higher. Yet despite these statistics, many of you, only armed with a dream, rose above the odds and are indeed truly fortunate. I also know that some of the graduates today come from families where education is predictable. But no matter where or how you started, today you walk away from here privileged. You are privileged to be more educated and prepared to embark upon a path of unlimited opportunities ahead. You leave Georgia Southwestern State University very blessed and vastly different than when you arrived. But my question to each of you is, what will you do with your educational blessing? What legacy will you leave? How will you change your community, your region, the state, or even the world? History tells us that this world is full of inspiring leaders, but few help to bring about social change through courageous leadership and extraordinary moral responsibility. Individuals like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Cesar Chavez, and Mother Teresa provide us with exemplary models of service for all citizens to follow. These individuals dedicated their lives to fostering a more inclusive and tolerant world. Again, I ask you, what legacy will you leave? How will you change your community, your region, this state, or even the world? King, Chavez, and Mother Teresa were all leaders who dedicated their lives to the advancement of improving their respective and global communities. Whatever your professional goals or aspirations, please include a dream that will aid in improving your respective communities. Play a role, small or large, in diminishing crime, decreasing the illiteracy rate, or eliminating poverty. Whatever the social ill that you choose to address, be reminded that it starts with education. Like the aforementioned social change agents, you too must display to our youth to seek a peaceful, nonviolent solutions to the challenges they face as they navigate this very complex society that we live in. For some of you, it may seem that you are isolated from the economic misfortunes of Southwest Georgia. But I think, even as recent graduates, we expect you to have a sense of moral responsibility to address injustice wherever you find it. Those injustices exist today in our schools, the workplace, our communities. Unfortunately, they're everywhere. When our community struggles, we all struggle. Dr. King said, "Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly." If the alarming school dropout rate increases and our literacy rates do not improve, we will all be affected indirectly, and in some cases directly, by the social ills of higher crime rate, increased unemployment, and increased poverty. As you see, the lack of education has a damaging ripple effect. Some of you already have this moral compass, and you are doing your part as change agents. Some of you volunteer with nonprofit organizations throughout your community, ultimately providing service to our great country. So as you leave this great university, you also have a moral responsibility to continue this education. Don't settle for mediocrity. Think about the tremendous sacrifices that your families have made for you to have such a fine education. An education for some that was not, and depending on the region of the world, still is not available to others. Your university, family, friends, and your community have high expectations for each of you. And we need you to not only rise to those expectations, but if possible, exceed them. You, the members of the 2014 graduates of Georgia Southwestern, are role models to your family, to your community, and to this state. As you keep pursuit of your dreams, embrace these words offered by the noted change agent, Oprah Winfrey. You've got to follow your passion. You've got to figure out what it is you love, who you really are, and have the courage to do that. I believe that the only courage anybody ever needs is the courage to follow your own dreams. Keep dreaming and find what you are most passionate about. And in my best Nike voice, just do it. Know that adversity does not necessarily begin and end in one day. It will sometimes even take residency for a long period of time. Also know that your life's journey will be full of surprises. But whether the surprise is good or bad, don't let the surprises stop you from moving forward. Remember, you are already equipped for success. The degree you are receiving today positions you as an educated, disciplined, and resourceful individuals ready to take on the challenges and opportunities that will align your life's path. You are prepared to meet and face the future that is before you. Finally, my hope and dream for each of you is that you will continue to dream. Don't allow failure to prevent you from dreaming. Rather, use failure to inspire you and to inform you on how to grow and change. Now that this day has come, the day that you once dreamed about, it's now time to prepare for the next dream. What are you passionate about? What is it that you desire to accomplish on this life's journey? How will you impact the world as we know it? Join me and countless others in the daily task of dreaming and following your passion. Congratulations, class of 2014, and best of luck to each one. Thank you very much.
Dr. Jones, thank you for those inspiring words. I'm Brian Adler. I'm the Vice President for Academic Affairs. We are delighted to have your family and friends here to celebrate this important achievement and want to be sure that each graduate receives full recognition in today's ceremony. While we welcome well-deserved applause, loud cheers and noisemakers create disruptions that often drown out the names of other graduates walking across the stage. Every GSW graduate has worked diligently for this day and deserves to hear his or her name read as the degree is awarded. Please, ladies and gentlemen, help us celebrate all our graduates with the respect and dignity that they have earned. In addition, we respectfully ask that you wait until all our graduates have recessed from the Convocation Hall before exiting the stadium. The fields of study at Georgia Southwestern State University are grouped under 5 academic units, each chaired by an academic dean. It is my pleasure at this time to recognize these deans who will assist in the presentation of candidates for their degrees. And if you would, please hold your applause until they're all introduced. Dr. Liz Wilson, Dean of the School of Business Administration. Dr. Boris Peltzberger, Dean of the School of Computing and Mathematics. Dr. Sandra Daniel, Dean of the School of Nursing. Dr. Yvette Howard, Interim Dean of the School of Education. And Dr. Kelly McCoy, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. Georgia Southwestern State University provides the following master's degrees: Master of Business Administration, Master of Science in Computer Science, and Master of Science in Nursing. Will the candidates for these degrees please rise? Mr. President, on behalf of the faculty of Georgia Southwestern State University, I am pleased to present for the conferring of degrees those candidates standing here before us and whose names are in the printed program who have satisfactorily completed all requirements for their degrees.
By the authority vested in me, of the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I hereby confer upon you the master's degree with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities pertaining thereunto.
Candidates, you may be seated until your marshal calls you forward. And we will begin with candidates for the Masters of Business Administration. Dean Wilson is present. Very good. Candidates. Jana Lynn Barbary. Yuquan Chang. Mohan Hong. Han Lin. Jarbin Liu. Dominica Nicole Hines. Shear. Gao Yu. Si-Jin Chao. School of Computing and Mathematics, Dean Peltzberger will assist. Candidates? Alexander Scott Dean. Scott Larry Pritchett. Yujar Wang. Wei Zhang. School of Nursing, Master of Science in Nursing, Dean Sandra Daniel assisting. Ashley Henderson Barnes. Brandy Shea Chambers. Vila Yvette Hughes. Jamie Suzanne Rosef. Rosanna Marie Wynn. Let's congratulate the latest graduates from our graduate programs. Georgia Southwestern State University provides the following baccalaureate degrees: the Bachelor of Arts, the Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Science, Bachelor of Business Administration, Bachelor of Science in Education, and Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Will the candidates for these degrees please rise? Mr. President, on behalf of the faculty of Georgia Southwestern State University, I am pleased to present for the conferring of degrees those candidates standing before us and whose names are in the printed program who have satisfactorily completed all requirements for their degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents of the University System of Georgia, I hereby confer upon you the bachelor's degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereunto.
Candidates, you may be seated until your marshals call you forward. We begin with the College of Arts and Sciences, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Bachelor of Science. Rebecca Ruth Adair, cum laude. Ryan William Ash. Kaylee Jean Bazil. Elizabeth Lauren Brooks. Siltoya Lachey Bush. Shiante Shanae Carruthers. Kristen White Carter. Lacey Brenna Casey. Leah Jean Shavers. Alyssa Daré Klingenpeel. Hillary Page Davis. Kaylee Lindsay Dubberly. John Aaron Duran. Jessica Marie Durrett. Kaylee Renee Goodwin, cum laude. Cortissa Denise Holloman. Hannah Kate Holloman. Felipe Ronaldo Howell. William Jesse Hunter. Ambrika Raven Johnson. Hassani Ajani Jones. Ebony Raquel Jordan. Ellen Kathleen Kay. Jacqueline Louise Larson. Please Botner Lombe Mikaya. Rebecca Ann Martins. Lee Beth McClendon, magna cum laude. Stephen Daniel Moore, magna cum laude. Anna Alicia Morgan. Joshua Christopher Mossino. Danielle Katrina Mullins. Jamie Nicole Owens. Kristen Gabrielle Pear, magna cum laude. Amanda Carol Rice. Jonathan Tyler Rogers. Nicole Marie Thompson. Bradley Chiruka Uzokwe. Michael Anthony Van Ham. Trevor Jordan Van Zant, cum laude. Jesse Lee Wade. Ryan Edward Walker. Mallory Amanda Wall. Khalid Antonio Webb. Sarah Nicole Welter. Essence Manalea Williams. Whitley Unique Young. Let's congratulate these latest graduates from the College of Arts and Sciences. School of Business, Bachelor of Business Administration, Dean Liz Wilson assisting. Barbara Ann Barbary. Gustave Beauregard Sisson Barrett. Hannah Margaret Bass. Joy Beckner Borland. Chelsea Alana Breivogel, magna cum laude. Charlemagne Armani Brown. Kimberly Sherry Buckley. John Emery Burmeister. Rachel Louise Butler. Laura Danielle Chambliss Shadrick, magna cum laude. Kayla Shay Chapman. Kimberly Joy Clark. Chase Shane Cromer, magna cum laude. James Wesley Cromer, Jr. Michael Lester Cromer. Kyle Patrick Daly. Catherine Hill Diekman. Gretchen Rebecca Elm, magna cum laude. Ronald Edwin Fowler, Jr. Hannah Grace Frazier, summa cum laude. Laura Lee Gaines, magna cum laude. Austin Stewart Garcia. Marguerite Warren Gates. Caleb Michael Golden. Joseph Park Griffin. Natasha Kimberly Rose Grimes. Felicia Monique Harper. Wesley Scott Hines. Tammy Annette Jackson. Taylor Gray Jones. Haley Ann Kersey. Catherine Elizabeth Copeler. Ryan Lane Lacey, magna cum laude. Matthew Aaron Meeks. Benjamin Arthur Moody, magna cum laude. Lydia Kathleen Morey. Ellen Kate Parker. Jonathan Blaine Parker. Kristen Alyssa Patterson. Megan Ray Pilcher, cum laude. Luis A. Ponce. Richard Billy Rowland. Sabrina Gazelle Ross. Frank Hutchison Smith Jr., cum laude. Amy Lee Starr. Russell William Taylor. Christopher Shane Tondi. Tyler Everett Tondi. Tiffany Nicole Turner.
Van, not Van. Van.
William Brandon Van. Matthew Stephen Van Sant, cum laude. Amanda Keeley Varnum. Julia Ann Wells. Elisa Marie White. Morgan Kathleen White, cum laude. Next, we have the School of Computing and Mathematics, Bachelor of Science, Dean Boris Putzberger, assisting. Catherine Elizabeth Conger. Brianna Sabrina Coutois. Jonathan Aaron Malcolm. Du Mercy Nsangwa. Ian Wahome. Next, we have the School of Education, Bachelor of Science in Education, Interim Dean Yvette Howard, assisting. Rachel Elizabeth Adams. Caitlin Ann Aspel. Patricia Fellon Askew. Amanda Miriam Bahari. Corey Vonne Benson. Brittany Lavinia Brandt, cum laude. Brooke Nicole Braswell, cum laude. Caitlin Leanne Bridges, cum laude. Haley Renee Brown, cum laude. Whitney Lee Browning. Amanda Danielle Bruner. Jordan Caitlin Burnett. Anthony Gabrielle Kane. Emily Ann Carlson, summa cum laude. Tyler Scott Cartwright. Christopher Buddy Carver. Ashley Lane Chastain. Moñana Maria Cose, magna cum laude. Tashonda Denise Cohen. David Christopher Crabtree. Elma Leal Danielle, summa cum laude. Margaret Amanda Dean. Leanne Driscoll, magna cum laude. Kayla Nicole Farrer. Chase Fleming Felix. Michael Ann Fenton. Kelly Catherine Gentry. Heather Diana Giddens. Colton Hall Glover, cum laude. Rachel Cox Griner. Angela Alexis Jackson. Sean Cameron Jess Kula. Antoinette Cherise Jenkins. Haley Elizabeth Jones, summa cum laude. Catherine Virginia Jones. Haley Marie Knight. Crystal Marie Lambert. Lindsay Ray Lawson, magna cum laude. Penelope Diane Littlefield. Nikora Shawan McKay. Nicholas Keith Mallard. Amanda Suzanne Mears. David Stanley Medders, magna cum laude. Emily Gorley Morris, cum laude. Lauren Ashley Murphy. Kayla Victoria Newell, magna cum laude. Carolyn Elizabeth Oots. William Robertson Pannell. Alexandria Louise Peavy. Jessica Lane Rigdon. Ariel Leah Pettis Roberts, summa cum laude. Emily Heather Roy. Taylor McLean Rutherford, magna cum laude. Layla Elizabeth Saeed, cum laude. Haley Nicole Sheffield. Gina Nicole Shiver. Kimberly Denise Simmons. Carol Ann Simpson. Olivia Kathleen Smith. Elizabeth Marie Solinger. Jessica Lynn Thompson, magna cum laude. Mallory Ann Underwood. Kelly J. Walker. Megan Erin Ward. Scott Danielle Williams. Monica Lee Ann Willis, cum laude. Let's congratulate these latest graduates from the School of Education. School of Nursing, Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Dean Sandra Daniel assisting. Wesley Norsaid Albert, cum laude. Paul Dwayne Anderson. Angela Marie Baisden. Amber Lee Blake, cum laude. Anne Rebecca Blunt. Jamie Louise Burr. Judy Lynn Fajardo. Caitlin Ann Gosvick. Ogochukwu Maureen Green. Felicia Marie Harris. Charnay Marie Hall. Hill. Miss Hill. Skylar Logan Hudson. Rachel Leanne Jacobs. Janelle Marissa Jasmine. Elena Deanne Johnson. Kayla Nicole Johnson, magna cum laude. Robin Sharae Jones. Kadia Carbo. Kelsey Lee Crone. Datford Tom Lee. Brandy Lee Mixon, cum laude. Jessica N. Okpara. Jagruit Ben Patel. Tejo Yashavant Patel. Laura Danielle Thomas, cum laude. Christina Moselle Tutt. Larry Earl Tyrer. Sevilla Antoinette Wallace. Shakila Tarika Washington. Tanira Deasia Williams. Takiria Kamishiana Wolfart. Let's congratulate these latest graduates and all graduates.
Let me add my congratulations, but I would like to add what I do at every one of these celebrations. I think all of you graduates know that you didn't get here by yourself, that all of you have had support from friends, relatives, faculty, staff, and others. So always at graduation, I ask that those in the audience who have a friend or relative who is graduating, who you help to support, to stand and let the graduates recognize you. Would you stand, please? And graduates, you also know there is another group who made your success possible, and that's our faculty and our staff. So I'd like at this point all our faculty and the staff who are here with us today to stand and let us recognize you.
Thank you.
GSW graduates, distinguished speakers, and special guests. As president of the Alumni Association, I'm honored to be a part of this special occasion. I'd like to congratulate the class of 2014 for this most notable accomplishment. You represent our belief that the education coupled with hard work and service to others can really make a difference in our world. As you leave this auditorium today, please remember to look back. Please stay connected through the Alumni Association and this college. President John F. Kennedy said one time, "For time and the world do not stand still. Change is the law of life. For those who look only to the past or to the present are certainly to miss the future." This is your time, and with it comes a great responsibility of what you will do with your time. Each are given the same amount, 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in a day, 24 hours. You get the picture. And I missed it. We all have, it's a hurry up time for the graduates, I understand. We all have the same time, same amount, no more, no less. Now the question is going to be before you, what am I going to do with it? I ask that you remember two things. First, use it wisely. Don't squander nor waste it. And second, be on time no matter what. It's a sign of your character and to be late is disrespectful of others' times. Whatever it is, work, a report, a date, a meeting, dinner, whatever, be on time. The future starts today, not tomorrow. It is your time, and as president of the GSW Alumni Association, I congratulate you and now recognize you as alumni of Georgia Southwestern University.
Please stand and join in singing the alma mater printed on the back of your program. Hail to thee, our foster mother, praise to thee we bring. Of thy teaching altruistic, lovingly we sing. For thy Spirit through the ages ever shall prevail. Hail to thee, our own Southwestern, alma mater, hail. Fires are kindled at thy altar, fires that never die. Bright they burn in hearts eternal, 'neath the southern sky, burning for divine approval, ever shall prevail. Hail to thee, our own Southwestern, alma mater, hail.